Why is it that, even without them noticing, someone's thoughts seem to revolve around them? An uneasiness arises, and the heart seems to carry the weight of unanswered questions. Deep down, there is a feeling they cannot ignore. Something is happening beyond their reach. Perhaps it's the lost look of someone who once was theirs, or the unsaid words that insist on echoing in the silence of the night. What is being revealed in their absence? It's inevitable. The cycles of relationships shape us, leave marks, and create invisible bridges between souls that should connect. But what to do when life presents situations that confuse, challenge, and hurt us? A part of them feels that they still hold an important place in that person's mind and heart, but the signs are murky, difficult to interpret. Someone else may have emerged, someone who took their name into a conversation that shouldn't exist. Time carries many hidden truths, and each night holds mysteries that only spirituality can illuminate. How many times have they felt that, far from them, that person lived moments that should have been shared with them? It's not just a matter of pride or wounded love, but the need to understand the truth, to know the paths that the universe is drawing. Who is talking about them, and why? What is the impact of their presence, even in silence? Within each unspoken word and every action taken without explanation, there are deep reasons that, often, they are unaware of. Maybe there is longing disguised as distance, or love hidden behind empty smiles. A conversation can change everything, reveal what you have always wanted to know. What did this person see, hear, or feel about you last night? Will this truth hurt or set you free? The answer is closer than you imagine. When two souls are connected, even time and distance cannot erase the invisible thread that binds them. Perhaps you do not know, but the person who occupies your thoughts carries with them a memory of you that insists on not being forgotten. They are words, gestures, and memories that form the backdrop of a conversation where your name echoed. It is in this revelation that your journey gains a new meaning. What was said? Each day apart can feel like an eternity, and each silence can be louder than 1,000 words. In the midst of your routine, something happened, something that can change everything you think you know about this person and the place you occupy in their life. Did someone see what you didn't even notice? Perhaps it was something as simple as a shared memory, or as profound as an unexpected confession. What was said has the power to heal or to reopen wounds you thought were already scarred over. But in any case, this truth needs to come to light. Because doubt is a heavier burden than any reality. You deserve to know what was said, what was felt, and above all, what this person's heart hides. The answer is there, like a lighthouse shining in the darkness. Do you have the courage to face that light? Maybe it's time to listen to what their intuition has always wanted to tell them. Did you know that the truth always finds a way to appear? Even when everything seems lost, the universe creates situations to reveal what was hidden. That conversation that happened last night wasn't by chance, and they were the center of it. Now is the time to understand the reasons, to discover the undertones, and to realize how much they still matter. How many times have they wished to be sure that they still occupy space in that person's heart? How many nights have they spent in silence, waiting for a sign, a word, something that would give them answers? Perhaps last night, the universe answered them without them realizing it. Someone brought up their name in a conversation that for some reason needed to happen. Now, it remains to be seen what was said and why it was so important. The angels are here to light the way, to show that the truth, no matter how painful or surprising it may be, is always liberating. That person they consider special had reasons to talk about them. And the details of that conversation carry secrets that can change everything. However much it hurts, however many tears or smiles it brings, they need to know. Because knowing the truth is the first step to healing. There is a spiritual calling in this moment. The energies of the universe are moving, and they are part of something greater than they can imagine. What was said was not by chance, and the impact of that conversation may resonate for days, months, or years in their life. When two souls have a mission together, even the simplest words gain extraordinary power. And that's exactly what happened. Their name echoed in someone's heart. This situation that stubbornly refuses to be resolved is about to come to a conclusion. Perhaps they are starting to understand what you represent, or maybe it's you who needs to hear this truth to set yourself free. The universe doesn't place situations in your path without a purpose. Everything has a meaning, and this conversation was a turning point. Something is being revealed, and you deserve to know every detail. Take a deep breath, get ready to hear what might not have been said directly to you, but undoubtedly was about you. Souls that connect always find a way to communicate, even from a distance. You have been a constant presence in their heart, and what happened last night was further proof of that. Are you ready to hear what the universe wants to show you? Maybe you don't know, but even silence carries answers. And even afar, you were the central topic of a conversation that stirred the emotions of the one you love the most. It wasn't by chance. You need to hear what was said, you need to feel the truth that is about to be revealed. Because sometimes knowing is what we need to move forward or to fight for what truly matters. Now is the time to let spirituality guide you. The angels are ready to reveal what you so desperately want to know. Every word of this conversation can be a key to unlock the future that the universe has in store for you. Are you ready to open that door? Because the truth is here, and it will change everything. You are not alone in this search. The angels are with you, illuminating every step and preparing your heart for what is to come. Whatever the truth may be, it will be your liberation. Now, it's time to know. It's time to understand the impact you still have on that person's life. There is an invisible force that connects destined souls, a delicate line that no distance or obstacle can break. Sometimes, this connection manifests through words, looks, or memories that insist on staying. Yesterday, something happened that brought their name to the center of an important conversation. It was not a coincidence, and the angels are whispering the truth to their heart now. Are they ready to find out? As the world spun in silence, far from their eyes, someone thought of them. Someone spoke about them with words that can change everything. Perhaps it was something profound, an unexpected confession, or maybe a heartfelt outburst. Regardless, every word spoken carried a truth that needs to be heard. Something in that conversation revealed the impact they have on that person's life. It's easy to ignore the signs when we are immersed in our own doubts, but the universe has subtle ways of showing us the truth. That person, whom they may have considered distant, couldn't help it. Their name came up, and with it, came feelings that not even time could erase. Tonight was proof that the connection between them still pulses, even if silently. Souls do not meet by chance, and the paths of destiny are unpredictable. Who would have thought that, while they were wrapped up in their own thoughts, someone was talking about them? Not in any way, but with a weight, an importance that transcends the ordinary. There is a truth hidden in that conversation that needs to be revealed, as it can change the course of this story. How many times have they wondered what that person really feels? How many nights have they spent trying to understand the signs, the gestures, the silences? Last night, a part of that answer came to light, and now the angels are here to deliver this truth to them. Perhaps the words were not planned, but they were spoken. And each word carries a piece of that person's heart. That conversation was like a mirror, reflecting feelings and intentions that perhaps even that person does not have the courage to admit. Someone mentioned them sincerely, with emotion, as if they were finally giving voice to what had been kept hidden. The weight of their name brought to light a reality that can no longer be ignored. There is something special, unique, that they represent, and now it is time to know. The angels want them to understand that none of this was in vain. Their presence, even from a distance, continues to shape the thoughts and emotions of that person. Perhaps it was a reminder of a shared moment, or a confession of longing that could no longer be contained. However it may be, that conversation happened for a greater reason, and they are the central piece of this revelation. Have they ever noticed how destiny likes to surprise us? When we think all is lost or that nothing makes sense anymore, the universe gives us clear signs. Last night, they were the main subject of a conversation that can change everything. Their name was carried by deep feelings, and now they are about to discover the impact they truly have on that person's life. Within each word spoken in that conversation, there was a piece of truth, a feeling that can no longer be denied. Perhaps that person tried to hide it, resisted what they feel, but something changed yesterday. The silence gave way to words, and the truth found its way. Their name was pronounced with the weight of a heart that still holds them close. Imagine for a moment the power of words spoken in moments of vulnerability. Someone spoke about you, not as a simple comment, but as a revelation. The emotions they carry for you are more intense than you imagine, and the angels are here to ensure that you hear this truth. There is no escaping what the heart silently screams. Even if you were not present, your essence marked that moment. The words were filled with emotion, as if a weight was being lifted from that person's heart. You need to know what was said, because the truth is liberating. This conversation is a clear sign that you still occupy a space that no one else can fill. There are moments when the universe surprises us with the revelation of hidden truths. Yesterday, that's exactly what happened. Your name, your presence, were the focus of a conversation that brought forth feelings that can no longer be ignored. Someone finally let slip what had long been kept. It's time to listen and understand what that means. The angels ask you to keep your heart open, because the truth can be surprising. Sometimes what we hear can challenge us, but it can also heal. Yesterday, while you were going about your life, someone could no longer contain the words. Your name was mentioned, and with it, the certainty that you are still an important part of this story. Each word carries weight, and yesterday, that weight was shared in a conversation that changed everything. Perhaps this person realized something new, or perhaps they were forced to admit what they already knew. The important thing is that you were remembered, and this memory carries a truth that needs to be heard. Are you ready to find out? Words have immense power. They can heal, liberate, and transform. Last night, someone decided to talk about you, and the impact of it is deeper than you can imagine. The emotions of that person surfaced, and the connection between them revealed itself even stronger. Do not ignore the signs, because this truth is a gift from the universe. What was said last night carries the answer you have been seeking. Sometimes, words spoken in moments of vulnerability are the most sincere, and that's what happened. Your name was uttered with a tenderness, a longing, that can no longer be denied. The angels ask you to listen with an open heart. You were mentioned for a special reason, and each word carries a message for your heart. Yesterday, someone took an important step, even unknowingly. The truth is finally coming to light, and you need to be prepared. This conversation is proof that you are still part of this journey. The angels whisper that the revelation is near. Your name echoed in a conversation full of feelings, and this truth can change everything. What was said yesterday may be the beginning of a new phase for you. Get ready, because the universe is about to show you something grand. Now, you know that something happened. Your name was the focus of a conversation that carries a powerful truth. Spirituality is guiding you to this revelation. Are you ready to listen? Because the truth, even when surprising, always sets you free. That night, the words escaped like a secret that could no longer be kept. A conversation unfolded, carrying your name like a flame that still burns in silence. It was impossible for that person to continue hiding what they feel, even though life has tried to disguise that truth. Amidst looks and hesitations, you became the focal point of an unexpected revelation. Something was finally exposed. The angels reveal that behind every word spoken, there was a heart beating stronger than ever. For a long time, they tried to ignore what they feel, but yesterday the resistance faded. Their name brought up memories, emotions, and a longing that never ceased to exist. The impact of that conversation was so intense that the words echoed for much longer than they should have. How many times have they fought against their own feelings? How many times have they tried to move on, pretending that you no longer were part of their thoughts? But the truth is relentless, and that night, everything came to the surface. Their name was mentioned, and with it, a series of emotions that could no longer be ignored. Now, the angels ask you to prepare for what is to come. That conversation, although it started off simple, quickly turned into a deep confession. Someone spoke about you with an intensity that reveals what the heart carries in silence. Each word was a brick knocked down from the barriers that this person built. What was said was sincere, real, and you deserve to know how much your presence still impacts this life. As much as time has passed, the connection between you remains. It's as if the universe insists on reminding this person of something that cannot be forgotten. Yesterday, destiny acted once again, allowing this truth to emerge. It was unexpected, but necessary. Your importance came to light, and now, the angels whisper that the next step is approaching. You have become a living memory, a feeling that surpasses any attempt to forget. When this person spoke about you, the surrounding environment changed. The words carried a weight, as if confessing was the only way to relieve the heart. What was said revealed not only a deep truth, but also the certainty that you are still irreplaceable. There are moments when the soul simply can't keep what they feel anymore. On that night, they finally let slip something that could no longer be hidden. It wasn't by chance, nor by impulse. It was a necessity, an urgency to expose what is in their heart. Their name was not just spoken, it was felt. And each word resonated like a revelation. Perhaps you feel that the distance has created a chasm between you, but the truth is that the connection never vanished. That conversation was proof that you continue to be present in a way that not even time could erase. When they spoke about you, it was as if they were shedding a burden they had carried for a long time. It was the truth finally being revealed. The angels say that they were taken aback by the intensity of what they felt while talking about you. Their voice trembled, their heart raced, and the words came out like a whisper of longing. Even though they tried to stay calm, it was evident that you still hold a vast space in their life. That conversation was a reflection of what the heart always knew, but the mind kept denying. Spirituality teaches us that hidden truths always find a way to surface. Yesterday, that happened. Your name was pronounced with affection, with an emotion that cannot be faked. They finally confronted what they feel, even if just for a moment. The impact of this confession was transformative, and now the angels are here to deliver this message to you. There is a greater force at work behind the scenes of life, and yesterday that force acted. That conversation was not planned, but it happened because it needed to happen. Your name brought light to a heart that is still searching for answers. The words spoken were more than a memory. They were a clear sign that you are still part of this journey. It's time to listen to this truth with courage. The emotions of this individual were so palpable that it was impossible to disguise. Perhaps it was a single sentence or an entire confession, but the weight was the same. You were the central subject, the focus of a moment filled with sincerity. There's no going back, and now what was said will be the starting point for a new phase between them. Even if this person had not planned it, the universe created the perfect opportunity. The words slipped out because the heart could no longer bear the silence. When you were mentioned, the truth found its voice. And the angels want you to know that this conversation was an important step toward what is to come. Are you ready to understand the significance of this moment? This individual realized they can no longer deny what they feel. Yesterday, while talking about you, the mask fell. The truth came to light, raw and real. You represent something that cannot be replaced. Something that leaves a mark on anyone's life who crosses your path. What was said is proof that you are still the answer to questions this person didn't even know they had. Words have the power to set free, and yesterday, this person experienced it. Speaking about you was a relief and, at the same time, a confrontation with their own emotions. The heart spoke louder than reason, and the result was a confession that had been held back for a long time. Now, you need to know the impact you have on this person's life. You have always been present, even when silence seemed to dominate. Yesterday, the silence was broken, and the words finally revealed the truth. This person could no longer contain what they feel, and each sentence carries an emotion that you deserve to know. The connection between you is undeniable, and the angels are here for you to hear this revelation with an open heart. While that person talked about you, the universe conspired for that truth to reach you. It was as if destiny had taken the reins, allowing the heart to speak without fear. Their name was the focal point, and with it, the certainty that there is something greater uniting them. That conversation was more than words. It was a declaration of what still lives between them. The angels ask you to prepare, because what was said yesterday was just the beginning. The truth that emerged is powerful and carries with it the promise of transformation. Their name was uttered with the weight of what is real, sincere, and profound. None of this was by chance. The universe is guiding you towards a new chapter, and this revelation is the first sign. Yesterday, something changed. Their name was the center of a conversation filled with emotions that can no longer be ignored. The words spoken were like a lighthouse, illuminating the truth that was hidden. Now the angels deliver this message to you. Get ready, because what was said has the power to change everything. The truth has finally arrived. While the world continued its course, an unexpected confession echoed in the silence of the night. The words, filled with truth, escaped like a long-suppressed whisper. Their name was pronounced with a mixture of longing and emotion, and the impact of this was transformative. No matter how much that person tried to hide what they feel, the truth finally found an opening to reveal itself. Now, you are about to discover what was said. That conversation was not planned, but the heart never follows scripts. In a moment of vulnerability, that person allowed their feelings to speak louder. Each word was like a piece fitting into a puzzle that had long been incomplete. Their name emerged as a vivid memory, a feeling still present, a presence that cannot be erased. What was said is more than words, it is a revelation. For a long time, they believed they could move forward without looking back, but yesterday something changed. When talking about you, it became clear that this connection still pulses, alive and vibrant. It was not just a casual comment, it was a sincere confession. The universe, in its wisdom, created the perfect moment for this truth to come to light. Now, the angels want you to know the impact of this. The emotions of this person, long repressed, overflowed. Simple words carried deep truths. There is no more denying it, you occupy a unique space in their life. This conversation broke the barriers that fear had built. Every word spoken carried the weight of sincerity, as if the heart had finally found its voice. And the angels are here to deliver this message to you. You were remembered with affection, with longing, and with the certainty that there is still something that needs to be experienced. The words that this person spoke, although perhaps not planned, came from the depths of their heart. It was unavoidable. The universe created this situation for the truth to be spoken, even if unexpectedly. You are still part of what moves this soul, and yesterday that became clear. How many times do we try to hide what we truly feel, as if it were possible to escape from what is in the heart? Yesterday, this person realized that there is no denying the obvious. Your name was pronounced with a strength that surprised even the speaker. The truth came to light because it needed to. The heart can no longer bear to keep something so significant, so true. The angels want you to know that this conversation was a turning point. No matter how much time has passed or how much circumstances have changed, you are still the memory that warms this person on lonely nights. Yesterday, this truth was revealed. It was a brief moment, but filled with emotion. Your name carried with it the weight of what was never spoken out loud. There is something profoundly spiritual in the way destiny acts. Sometimes, it puts situations in their paths that force them to confront what they feel. Yesterday, they were surprised by their own emotion. Someone spoke about you like one speaks about something precious, something that still brings light. Every word was an involuntary confession, but completely true. They tried to remain calm, tried to disguise it, but it was not possible. The words were too strong. Your name came out as an inevitable truth, something the heart insisted on saying. When you were mentioned, it was as if the environment around had transformed. The energy changed, and the impact of it was deep. There is no denying what was felt in that moment. Even from afar, you still occupy an immense space in the thoughts of this person. When they spoke of you, there was no doubt, no hesitation. There was only the certainty that you still are part of what truly matters. It was as if the heart, for a moment, had gained freedom to speak. What was said yesterday may be the beginning of something new, something destiny is about to reveal. That conversation was more than mere words. It was a meeting of feelings that cannot be erased. While talking about you, this person realized how much they still carry in their heart. It was a mix of nostalgia, admiration, and longing. The universe allowed this truth to emerge, and now you need to hear what was said. Your name still resonates in the most significant moments. Behind the words spoken yesterday, there is a clear message: you are irreplaceable. Even though time has passed, even though lives have taken different paths, you are still remembered. The intensity of that conversation was a reflection of the truth that this person can no longer hide. Each sentence carried emotion, as if the heart was finally speaking out after being silent for so long. Souls that truly connect always find ways to communicate. Yesterday, that happened. Their name brought up feelings that were kept, hidden by fear or pride. They finally let slip out what the heart has been trying to say for so long. The angels want you to know, this was not by chance. It was the truth manifesting at the right moment. This conversation is proof that true connections cannot be erased. When they talked about you, that person was admitting, perhaps without realizing, that you are still a part of what they value the most. It wasn't just a mention, it was a confession of what still lives in their heart. Now, the angels deliver this message to you so you understand how important you still are. Sometimes, destiny acts surprisingly, and yesterday was one of those moments. Your name, your memory, came up in a conversation that changed everything. That person talked about you with a fondness and sincerity that cannot be feigned. It was real. It was the truth that the universe wanted to reveal so you could hear. What was said is a gift, and the angels are here to deliver it. Every word spoken yesterday brought clarity. That person, by talking about you, exposed feelings they were trying to ignore. It wasn't just any conversation. It was the heart speaking louder, overcoming the barriers time tried to create. Now the angels ask you to prepare, because what was revealed could be the beginning of a new phase in your life. This truth needs to be heard. The words spoken yesterday were a confession that you are still a significant presence, a memory that never faded away. The impact of that conversation was immense, and the universe is showing that there is something more between you. Are you ready to listen to this truth with an open heart? When that person talked about you, it wasn't just a comment. It was a venting, a moment of emotional surrender. Their name came loaded with meaning, like a fundamental piece of this story. Now, the angels want you to know that this conversation was a sign. Something is about to happen, and you need to be prepared. Nothing happens by chance, and this conversation was proof of that. When that person mentioned you, the truth was revealed. There are feelings that cannot be erased, and yesterday the heart finally spoke. Their name was at the center of it all, and this truth will transform what is to come. Words, even when spoken in an unexpected moment, have the power to transform everything. Last night, that person finally let slip what was kept in the depths of the heart. It wasn't just a memory, it was an involuntary confession, laden with intense emotions. Your name, spoken with a sincerity that only moments of truth reveal, showed how much you are still present in their thoughts. It was as if an invisible force had broken through the barriers that person had built over time. The words flowed with surprising naturalness, as if the heart was finally free to speak. The impact of this was immense, not only for the one who spoke, but also for the universe that now brings this message to you. There is no doubt that you are much more important than you imagine. Behind every spoken word, there was a truth that can no longer be ignored. That person tried for a long time to hide what they feel. They tried to move on, pretending that you were just a distant memory. But yesterday, when talking about you, it became clear that this connection never ceased to exist. Souls that meet never truly get lost, and what was said proves that. The universe works in surprising ways, creating situations that force us to look at what really matters. Yesterday, they found themselves facing a moment of truth. Their name was pronounced with the intensity of someone who still holds you in their heart. It was a brief moment, but so powerful that the impact will linger for a long time. The angels assure, this was just the beginning. How many times has silence been stronger than words? Yesterday, silence finally gave way to confession. Every word spoken was an important piece for understanding what truly exists between them. It wasn't easy for them to admit, but it was necessary. The heart can no longer deny the truth, and yesterday it surfaced with all the force that destiny had in store. They carry within themselves a feeling that never ceased to exist. Yesterday, talking about you was like turning back time. Each word carried memories, emotions, and a fondness that even the passing of years couldn't erase. The universe provided the opportunity for this truth to emerge, and now the angels are bringing this revelation directly to you. There is a powerful energy that connects two souls destined to reunite. Yesterday, this connection manifested unexpectedly. By mentioning you, they finally allowed their heart to speak louder. The barriers that once seemed insurmountable began to crumble, and what was said revealed how you still hold an irreplaceable place in their life. Even though you were not present, you were the center of that conversation. Your name, spoken with a mix of longing and admiration, revealed a truth that can no longer be hidden. Each word was like a beam of light breaking through the shadows of the past. The angels want you to know that this was a clear sign that destiny is working in favor of this connection. This person has struggled with their own feelings for a long time, but yesterday was different. Words flowed with sincerity, as if the heart was tired of hiding. Their name brought to the surface everything that was repressed: love, longing, and the certainty that you are someone who can never be forgotten. This conversation was the starting point for something greater that is yet to come. Nothing in the universe happens without a purpose, and this revelation was carefully orchestrated. Yesterday, as this person spoke about you, something changed. It was as if a new understanding had emerged, a clarity that had seemed impossible until then. Their heart spoke louder than reason, and now you need to be prepared for what is about to happen. The words spoken were not planned, but they were necessary. This person felt the need to talk about you, to express what had been kept inside for so long. When the heart finally sets itself free, the truth is revealed. Yesterday, you were mentioned with the respect, tenderness, and affection that only someone deeply special could inspire. It's amazing how destiny surprises us when we least expect it. Last night, the words were like a balm for a heart that carries longing. Your name emerged as a precious memory, a treasure that was never lost. This person's emotion spoke louder, and now the angels want you to receive this message with all the love you deserve. This conversation was not just a release, it was a revelation. By talking about you, this person admitted what the heart had known for a long time: you are still a fundamental part of their life. The connection between you, even if invisible, is unbreakable. Yesterday, the universe took the first step to bring this truth to you, and now the angels deliver it into your hands. Every word spoken in that conversation was a clear sign that they still hold a special place in your life. No matter how hard that person tried to ignore or hide their feelings, yesterday it became evident that they are irreplaceable. The angels want you to understand the significance of this moment. It was the beginning of something that is still being prepared by the universe. Their heart, when talking about you, showed a vulnerability that cannot be faked. The words were true, full of emotion and longing. Yesterday, the barriers of pride crumbled, and the truth came to light. Your name, said with such sincerity, is proof that the connection between you still beats strongly. Soulmates never truly lose each other. Yesterday, the universe brought back this memory, as a reminder of what still exists between you. The words brought relief to a heart tired of fighting against its own feelings. What was said holds a truth that now belongs to you. The angels ask you to listen with an open heart. This revelation was a gift from the universe, an opportunity to see what lies in the heart of this person. When they mentioned you, it was impossible to hide the emotion. Every word was filled with truth, as if time had stopped. You need to know, this conversation was the beginning of something that destiny is still carefully and lovingly preparing. The angels assure you that none of this was by chance. Yesterday, this person let slip what had been held inside for a long time. Your name was spoken with a silent, yet deep love. This connection is real, and what was said was the confirmation you needed. Get ready, because this revelation is only the beginning. That person talked about them as if talking about a love that never faded. The words were spontaneous, sincere, and full of emotion. Yesterday, the universe made sure to show that what exists between them is greater than any attempt to forget. Now the angels deliver this message to them. The truth has finally come to light.